All Access. An inside look at what it takes to operate Iowa's largest entertainment and convention facilities. This is Iowa Events Center All Access. From Iowa Everywhere. Sebastian Maniscalco.
My wife and I went to go see Hamilton on Broadway.
It Ain't Right Tour 2024.
Oh my God, it is amazing. We saw it. Oh, it changed me it changed me. Now, as soon as I hear that, I'm like, I ain't gonna like this.
Sebastian Maniscalco, live on stage in Des Moines, Wells Fargo Arena, December 15th, 2024. Get tickets now at livenation.com. For more, visit sebastianlive.com.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of All Access here on the Iowa Everywhere Podcast Network. We're presented by the Iowa Event Center. Matt Van Winkle, Adam Flack here for another episode. And Adam, you saw it right there. Sebastian Maniscalco coming to Wells Fargo Arena in a couple of weeks. It's going to be cool to have some live comedy back right into the holidays.
Yeah, I hope he can finish that joke for us. I mean, we've been hearing about it a lot. So he can get here. You can actually hear the live Hamilton joke here. And then I think Hamilton's going back to the Civic Center here within the next couple of years, right?
Yeah, I think it's coming early or sometime next year. Yeah. So saw the digital ads for that. So I actually saw it when it came the first time around through Des Moines. Gosh, this would have been, I think, 2019, 2020, sometime around there.
I think so. Probably prior to 2020. It was a great show. We saw it as well. So, yeah, I don't know. If it changes people, then, get to Maniscalco so you can hear more about it and buy your tickets for Hamilton.
Well, we actually had a cool opportunity. You guys helped us connect with Sebastian Maniscalco ahead of his Des Moines stop, December 15th, Sunday, HiVTix.com if you want to get tickets to that show. But we had a chance to talk with Sebastian, and we actually talk about this Hamilton joke. So he's from Chicago, Adam. I don't know if you know this. So we talk a little sports. We talk a little bit about the Chicago Bears and around the holiday season with him. This will be his last show before Christmas. So here's our interview with comedian Sebastian Maniscalco. All right, Sebastian Maniscalco, welcome to All Access. We're excited to have you in Des Moines at Wells Fargo Arena on December 15th. You're coming to Iowa. We're excited for you, man.
Listen, Midwest guy, Des Moines is one of these stops that I haven't performed there a lot, but it's nice to come back and make the people of Des Moines laugh, and I'm looking forward to it.
So you grew up in the Midwest here in the Chicago suburbs. When you think of Iowa, what do you think of? Sometimes we feel like we're a little brother to Illinois and Chicago, but we're flyover state.
I just think of farmland in Iowa. That's what comes, and the Hawkeyes. You got the Hawkeyes, right?
That's the Hawkeyes and the Cyclones. Yes, we got the two big schools here.
Yeah, when I was growing up, out of Forest View High School, there was a kid by the name of Brad Quast who went to Iowa, and we were like, "Oh my God, I can't believe a guy from the neighborhood is playing at a Big Ten school." So. Yeah, Iowa is kind of like the little sister of Chicago or Illinois.
Do people give you, when you say, I'm from Chicago, that's like the joke, right? You're from like a suburb of Chicago, right? Where exactly are you from?
I'm from Arlington Heights, which is 25 minutes outside the city. So, yeah, I mean, no one's gonna get Arlington Heights when I'm out and about. But when you come home to Chicago, you can't start throwing that you're from Chicago. You have to actually tell people where you're from, because they'll call you out on it.
So Arlington Heights, isn't that where the Bears are allegedly going to be moving?
I don't know what these Bears. There is a beautiful racetrack that is now closed. That's where the stadium was going to go, but now I'm hearing that Chicago might try and save the Bears in the city. I don't know what's going on with the Bears. They got more problems than where they're going to play. They got to figure out what's going on with their team. I mean, I think it's 6 in a row now that they fired the coach last week in the middle of the season. First time that ever happened in Chicago Bears history. So they got to figure out what's going on with the team.
My gosh, I was watching the game with my cousin who knows nothing about sports, right, on Thanksgiving Day against the Lions, and they cut to a shot of Eberflus, and he's just standing there. She's like, he's just stressing me out. The game, nothing had even happened yet. Like, they hadn't even screwed up the ending of the game, and sure enough, like a minute later, They completely screwed up. But man, I feel for you. I know you probably grew up in the heyday of Chicago sports with Jordan and those great, teams, but the Bears have a ways to go. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I grew up, 85 Bears and then
Yes.
frequently the Chicago Bulls throughout the whole 90s. And basically in the last 25 years, Bears or Chicago fans haven't really had anything to cheer about. They made an appearance, I think, in 2007 in the Super Bowl against the
Mhm.
Colts. But yeah, it's slim and none over there.
So the It Ain't Right tour is coming to Des Moines on December 15th, Wells Fargo Arena. We've been promoting your show here on Iowa Everywhere, our podcast here with the Iowa Event Center. And the joke that's in the promo, as you probably know, is the Hamilton joke, right? Have you
Yeah.
seen Hamilton? Have you seen Hamilton? Actually, I guess I don't know for sure. Have you seen the Hamilton, or is
Yeah.
this just a part of the bit? Okay.
I know we went to go see Hamilton in New York City, and the bit spawned out of, like my wife and I, generally speaking, always have to ask each other questions when we see a movie because no one knows what's going on. And Hamilton was kind of like the pinnacle of that, where during the intermission, we looked at each other and we're like, "Do you know what's going on?" And she's like, "No." I'm like, "All right, let's just go get some oysters." Like we left at intermission. So yeah, Hamilton for us was way over our head, and we couldn't understand any of the songs or what they were saying or anything like that. But yeah, it's generally that's how it works when we're watching any type of entertainment. We're completely clueless of what's going on.
I guess it is one of those interesting musicals where you're right. It is singing through the whole thing. So you really have to be paying attention throughout the whole thing and really be a fan of like musical theater, I guess, if you're going to be enjoying something like that.
And a fan of history. And we're sitting
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
who? Like, we didn't even know who the characters were. So yeah, we were doubly lost.
Well, then like then the second, you didn't stay for the second part, but half the people that were in the first part switch characters in the second part.
Oh, forget it. We would have, thank God we left. We would have definitely been on another world. Yeah,
Oh,
it was one of those where you definitely have to be a musical fan to get.
So you've got quite a few specials out. Obviously, you've been a stand-up comedian for a long time. How have you kind of been able to kind of build your cadence delivery, your body language on stage? How has that come to you? Is that something natural that came to you as a kid, or how do you kind of build that stage presence and your kind of your delivery?
Yeah, so for me, it was a lot of trial and error practice. You get up on stage 4 or 5 nights a week, sometimes multiple times a night, and you start working out kind of like what your stage persona is going to be. The whole trick in stand-up comedy is kind of to be as natural as you are in everyday life on stage. So you don't really feel like people are looking at you, judging you or whatnot. You could be as goofy as you want to be, and it's all for the sale of the joke. So it takes a while. I mean, the physicality for me didn't come right away. It came later on, maybe 4 or 5 years in, where I started to do a lot more physical movements because I became more comfortable. And just physicality in communication for me was always something that was just part of the way I would have conversations with people, moving your hands or a lot of body language. Not that it was so exaggerated in conversation, but you get up on stage, it's kind of an exaggerated reality. So yeah, it takes a while. It's not something that happens overnight, especially stand-up comedy. You really have to put your time in to really master the craft.
Yeah. So Des Moines is your last stop before the Christmas holiday. We just went through the Thanksgiving holiday, obviously. What are your thoughts on just holiday traditions? I think I just saw maybe on like your Instagram that your kids dress up for the holidays.
Yeah. Dressing up in my family has been something that we've been doing, since, we were going to church on Christmas Eve. We would get up, and my mother would always comment every time we came downstairs, if we had an outfit on that she didn't approve of, she'd send us right back to our room and go, "You ain't wearing that to this party or this event or what have you." So yeah, dressing up for the occasion has always been kind of part of something that we've taken pride in as a family. Being from an Italian family, there's always a food tradition, or my mother makes an amazing cheesecake for the holidays. She's always bringing that over. There's a pasta dish with meat and pine nuts that my sister has kind of taken upon herself to keep that tradition in the family. So yeah, also now that I have kids 5 and 7, we want to create our new traditions. For example, Thanksgiving we always have at my in-laws' house. I think everybody's getting tired of it, tired of cooking. It's a lot of work, man. I mean, to be in the kitchen knocking out birds and coconut pies and what have you. We're like, you know what, let's go out to eat, let's have somebody worry about it, other than, cleaning it all up and whatnot. So yeah, we're looking to start some new traditions in our family.
Well, Sebastian, we're excited to have you in Des Moines, December 15th, Wells Fargo Arena. HiVTix.com is the place to get your tickets to the show. Sebastian, thank you for hopping on All Access. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Enjoy the holidays.
Man, that was cool to connect with Sebastian. Before we started, I told him that it started snowing in Iowa today, and he's down in Florida right now. So I asked him if he missed the Midwest cold, but with the amount of traveling that he does, he gets to experience all kinds of weather.
Yeah, Chicago cold is different too. I mean, we talk about the wind here. I've spent some time in Chicago and felt like the wind there was just as bad, if not worse, than it is blowing through Iowa. So I don't know. He's probably used to it.
Yeah. He called Iowa Illinois' little brother. So I don't know how we feel about that. But sometimes Iowa we do get that flyover state rap. But hey, we're happy to have him in Iowa. We're happy to have him at Wells Fargo Arena. Again, there are still tickets for that, right, Adam? HiVTix.com.
Yep, tickets still available. HiVTix.com. They'll be available up to the show date. So get there and get them purchased before you get here. That way, it's easier for you to get in. But yeah, there are tickets available.
Perfect. Great gift for the holidays if you're looking for something to give a loved one. Well, speaking of holidays, we just had Disney on Ice wrapped up their Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday shows, right? So they had a full slate here in Des Moines. Took the family down on Friday, the day after Thanksgiving. Had a great time. I know you were there as well. It's so fun to see Disney come to life on the ice at the arena.
Yeah, 9 performances, tremendous crowds again. Great way to kick off the holiday season, get Thanksgiving over with, get into Disney on Ice, and then you're onto the Christmas season. The show was great. It's just, we were talking about it after attending the projections they do on the ice now, the theatrics that they have, they're pretty incredible. And, one thing I noticed is that I wonder if they're bringing some of the Ringling Brothers performers onto the ice, just the way they had the sway poles and a couple different acrobatic moves. It's not something you typically see out of a skating show, but I think it added a lot for the kids.
It really was cool. I mean, even I think it was during the Frozen, they brought out almost like a cloth or something from the middle, and they were swinging around on it, and they were holding up each other up by their skates. I was like, this is incredible. Like the adults appreciate, the kids appreciate it. And I guess, when we were talking to the tour director, he was explaining that really there are a lot of more acrobatics in this show than you might expect with the Disney on Ice show.
Yeah, I think that's one thing you can always plan on getting from Feld, when they produce Disney on Ice, is just they continue to change with the trends and the times and keep the show fresh. So it might be the same show title, but it would have other characters involved that maybe weren't here last time. And they do a great job.
Very cool. Well, that was fun. It's always fun to have Disney on Ice around this time of year. And you guys have also planned another great Christmas holiday themed show with Pentatonics coming up Wednesday, December 18th. Sounds like that show is almost sold out.
Yeah, if you want tickets for Pentatonics, you'll want to get them as soon as you can. We are approaching a sellout for that one. We have some side stage view seats left. But it's very close to sold out and will be by the time it gets here on December 18th.
And you guys just announced a new show for 2025, Mercy Me, coming Thursday, April 17th. And those tickets are on sale, right?
Yeah, that was a first for us. We've never put a show on sale on Black Friday before. So a little different. They wanted to get it up and ready for holiday shopping season, but we had a full calendar the week before. So we actually put it on sale last week. I think it got lost in the shuffle a little bit. People might not have seen it, but it is available now. Mercy Me on April 17th, 2025.
Very cool. Well, as we mentioned, Sebastian Maniscalco comedy coming December 15th. That's a Sunday. Perfect time for that show. And then you guys a couple weeks ago announced Matt Rife for June 8th as well, and Shane Gillis in May.
Comedians keep coming. I know there are some other comedians in town here yet in December. I think Civic Center's got Chelsea Handler maybe, and there's some others that are on the books. So yeah, it continues to be a real growing trend to have more comedians in arenas. So we'll take advantage of that, and I think both those shows will do really well.
Awesome. Well, Adam, appreciate it. Happy holidays to you, and happy holidays to everyone else. Hope you enjoyed your Thanksgiving. And man, you guys are going to get through these last couple shows around Christmas, and then we'll be right into 2025. We'll have the naming of the EMC Expo Center and then Casey's Center coming in 2025. So that's right around the corner.
Man, it's coming up fast. But before we get to that, we got to cheer for the Cyclones this weekend. So huge way to celebrate Thanksgiving, rushing the field after their first 10-win season in history. So it was a great time, and looking forward to following them this weekend.
Yeah, got the Hawkeyes. We'll head to a bowl game, the Cyclones, and the Big 12 championship game down in Arlington. And who knows after that? We'll be following it along the way. For Adam Flack, I'm Matt Van Winkle. Thanks so much for tuning in to another episode of All Access here on the Iowa Everywhere Podcast Network. We're presented by the Iowa Event Center.